Hi there, it's Meonicorn. Today I'm going to do my wrap-up for the Read-O-Rama Readathon. The first book I finished is The Hate You Give by Angie. This is the book for the challenge of read a book that you are most anticipating and read a book that is own voice. The book is about a girl named Star who kind of have two different kind of life. When she's at home, she's living in this poor black community where drug dealers and gang members are all around. But somehow she went to this rich high school where the majority of the students are white. But one day, Star went to this party at her community, and on her way home, she witnessed her childhood best friend got shot by police in front of her. If you watched my vlog for the readathon, you may notice that this is a very emotional reading for me because different people from a variety of communities have their own opinion about how Star's best friend died, and Star didn't want to tell anybody about her witness because she didn't want to get herself and her family into trouble. However, things has changed for Star and Star's family and people around her, and we discovered courage for most of the people, and there are some changes affected by this tragedy event that occurred to this poor community. And there are some side characters that I'm super angry about just because they are so hypocritical. I think personally I'm lucky enough to grow up in this peaceful community so that I didn't face any of the tragedies in my life. However, the story in the book is super relatable to the current event in the world. So I'm grateful that I had this opportunity to read this book. And also I think the writing is in the higher level of YA contemporary genre, and I like the character development and how the author present the thoughts of the characters and the changes to them. But I have a difficult time to understand the endings, so I think I need more time to think about it. The good thing is the story will stay with me for a long time, I believe. And overall, I give this book 4.5 to 5 stars over 5 stars, so I'm still considering. And the second book I finished is this one. It's a Chinese edition of a Japanese manga called Living Alone by Naoko Kataki. I'm sorry if I pronounce her name wrong, but I only know her Japanese pronunciation, not Japanese pronunciation, but Japanese name and Chinese name, so I cannot pronounce her name in English. And she's my favorite author that I followed her manga for more than 15 years, I believe. She had this series about drawing about her daily life when she lived alone. The first book in the series is called If I Translate it will be called The First Year I Live Alone. And the second book will be called The Fifth Year That I Live Alone. And the third book in the series is called The Ninth Year That I Live Alone. Following, there's a book called Every Day That I Live Alone. And this book, I believe it will be the last book in the Living Alone series, and it's called How Many Years That I Live Alone. And when I started reading her manga, she was like 20 years old-ish around her lifetime, and now she's talking about her life when she met 40. The book just gave me these magical experiences that I have shared my life with her, even though she doesn't know anything about me, and she has been sharing her life with us for more than 10 years. It just somehow I feel she was part of my life, and maybe it's somehow part of her life as well. And this book is not meet any of the challenges, it's just a fun book that I pick up during the readathon. The second book I finished is What We Buried, a poem collection by Caitlyn Siehl. And it is my first time to read a poem collection in English, and I have some questions about how to read a poem and how to review a poem. However, there are some poems that I really like in this collection that I think deserve a 4+ star out of 5 stars rating. But other than my emotional feeling about the poems, I have a difficulty to describe the writing style and how the message delivered by the poems. So if you have any tips about how to read a poem, or if you have any suggestion about which poems collection that I need to pick up later, please comment down below, and I'm so super excited to try some more. Oh, and I almost forgot to say that this book is for the challenge of Read-O-Rama, which has RAMA on the title or the author name, and also this book is for the challenge of read a short books. And the next book I read is Groot, and this is meet the challenge of read a graphic novel. And I saw Rebecca from Rebecca's Grotto read this graphic novel and she recommended it, so I picked it up, and I think it's a fun reading experience for me. It is also my first time to read a graphic novel, so I'm new to this genre, but I really enjoy this reading. And in the first graphic novel of Groot, we of course have our friend Rocket Raccoon. And this book began with a difficulty that the Groot and the raccoon met in the space. And the story went back in time and described how they met and why they became friends. And after the memory part of how they met, we of course get them together to deal with the problem that they're facing right now. I mentioned in my vlog that I paid much more attention to the dialogue in the graphic novel, which I should fix because I think I should pay more attention to the art part, because graphic novel, we got graphic first and novel second. However, I do enjoy the art and the art style, especially Groot cannot speak a language, he only speaks I am Groot. But that's actually enough because his emotion is well expressed on his face and on his gestures, so I think that's really a plus for this graphic novel. And also I like how they describe Earth people, human beings like us in this book, because you can just tell the human has this human thoughts that we think is correct, but it's somehow funny in the space. Overall, I enjoy it, but once again, I don't know how to rate a graphic novel, so maybe I'll rate more graphic novel in the future and come back to rate this one. And the last book I have here, which I finished half of the book during the readathon, and I really want to wrap it up in this wrap-up, so it is The Street by Emily Bitto. At the beginning of the book, we met Lily in her elderly life that she has received a letter from her childhood best friend Eva, and this letter recalled all her memory about Eva and Eva's family when they were children. Lily has this ordinary life that she was the only child in her family, and her father is a worker and her mother is a stay-home wife. At the age of 8, Lily went to school and met Eva, which is her soul bonding best friend. And Eva has 2 other sisters and has parents who are artists. Somehow Lily happens to live in Eva's house for a long time with other artists, and they have this group of 6-7 adults together with 4 children at the house. Although we get story from Lily's perspective, what we actually got is the daily life of the artists, how they pursue art together, or how they have conflicts about art or other daily stuffs, how their life was irresponsible as adults, but somehow they need the craziness in their life to create art. However, when Lily got the chance to observe all the artists in the house, she got this disconnection from other people because she's the only one that non-art related in the house. And also we got the friendship development between Lily and Eva and how the format of the friendship changes over time. And I forgot to say, at the beginning of the time, Lily and Eva doesn't speak to each other for years and years. So with the story developed in the book, we are going to find out why. And for the rating of the book, I'm still debating with myself. I don't know if I should give it a 3.5 stars or a 4 stars or a 4.5 stars, and I found out that I have a lot to say about this book, so I think this book deserves an individual review in the future. So that's all the 4.5 books that I read in the readathon, although there's one book on my TBR, Into the Water, that I didn't get to during the readathon, but I enjoyed my time last week, and I hope you find this wrap-up helpful. If you are interested in any of the book, please let me know on the comment. If you want more bookish content from me, please subscribe to me so that I can see you next time. Happy reading! Bye!